So, man, describe to me like what was it like, dude? Because I know you were training for like a whole year with like a personal trainer.
Yeah.
Like you were gaining weight at the same time. Like, was that kind of like what
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah. So I was able to lift a lot of load, but at the same time, I wasn't losing any weight. My stomach was starting to bulge to the point where it was hard for me to tie my shoe without having to navigate around my stomach. That was the tipping point, and what really drove me to make a change because that was probably my lowest point is
When,
was having a hard time tying my shoe.
yeah, man.
And I mean, people notice like last, I was in the same boat. So I'm right now I'm in Virginia Beach. So last year it's like a traditional thing every August. People noticed that I was like in this very shirt, like bulging, like muscles. I was taking creatine time too. So I was like really bulgy, but you can still see like the excess probably water weight or fat. And then funny enough, one of my other friends who normally comes down here, he went through his own fitness journey. Now he's chiseled and everything. Kind of reminds me of you, Deck. He's like, next year I want to see your jawline. And lo and behold, I'm on my way there. He wasn't here, unfortunately. That was like kind of like a wake up call for me to get this stuff handled. So yeah, that's where we're at.
Yeah, I mean, when walk me through kind of like when you were having that moment where you had difficulty tying your shoes, like how did that make you feel?
I felt weak, incapable. Like how did it get to this point? And I knew that I had the capacity to change that. Didn't have like the support, number one, around me. Again, I moved to a new area and I didn't know too many people. The gym was my only way to meet people. I didn't have a blueprint for my nutrition. And being Filipino, we love to eat, and food comes with a lot of love. So that was pretty much the pattern that had to be broken. And I knew that I could do it. It's just a matter of just being persistent and having a blueprint to really stick to because I knew that worked for me. But this was more solid and having something like in front of me that I could read and refer to whenever I mean I can't remember everything, but having that nutritional guide was gold for me. Even to this day, whenever I question, I refer to it, and that's my foundation. So
Yeah,
that's
awesome,
where
man. What were you unable to do at that time that you wish you could?
I guess break the pattern of eating because I would be hungry. I would put in 3, 4 hours in the gym and I would be hungry. Like I would come home like at 10, 9, 10 p.m. and I would be eating these like maybe 2, 3 servings of food tonight. And then I would sleep maybe an hour or two afterwards, which became a vicious cycle. And I was like, okay, what's not working? So I needed something to get me out of that. And it was very serendipitous. But at the time that I was like, okay, I need to just reduce my carbs at night, is when I came across Udex and everything seemed to work because, okay, I felt like something was happening here. So yeah, that was one thing that it's just, I didn't know how to break out of
Yeah, I
the thing.
remember you were you mentioned that you were trying to drop your carbs and you still couldn't lose weight. Was that kind of like what I remember? Was that correct?
Yeah, yeah, it was at the time, yeah. So I was starting to drop, and maybe like a couple days after doing what am I doing consistently, not getting me to where I need to be. And it occurred to me like, hey, I am eating more carbs than I should at night because I'm hungry, and my mom's not gonna say no because she wants to see me well fed and happy.
Yeah.
So that's one thing, and it had to start for me if I want to make a change. So.
Yeah. So what was like the biggest negative impact for you at that time?
I guess the voice in my head just saying, okay, you're never gonna get out of this, even though like you're doing everything, like you're putting in the hours to work out, but nothing is you're not getting to where you want to be. So it's like it was almost like a desperation, like a psychological desperation. It's like one hand, like, oh, this is gonna be forever, and the other side, it's like, no, you've done this before. So that was like the constant psychological tug of war I had in my head, or the
Yeah.
voice.
The internal
So
battle. Yeah,
yeah.
got you. What was like the biggest doubt and fear about working with us?
So I'd say the biggest data fear is it was mainly two things. So one was going to be it's going to be another program that I try and now have it work out. Number one, that's the first one. I've gone through a lot of programs, live and online, that didn't work for me. Partly half of my fault because I didn't follow through, but there wasn't too much skin in the game. And the second was obviously the investment. I've never went down this path of investing in my health as much as I did when working. So it was the financial fear, like the investment. So for me, what got me psychologically over that hurdle was having UDEX, having worked with the UFC. I hold those athletes to a high standard. So if I'm going to work with a guy who has that knowledge and real life experience working with those types of athletes that basically go to war as a profession, I'm like, I want to be able to be in that proximity and work with that person. That'll get me into that elite level. For me, that was more than enough to justify investing in my health.
Hell yeah, bro. Where are you at right now then?
I'm well on my way to be at elite, super elite, and it becomes a lifestyle psychologically and obviously physically, but more so the mindset of being able to do the gritty things. Because not everything is sunshine and rainbows. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears need to happen. And if you have the right people in your corner supporting you, giving you blueprint, and also again come back to the high standard of the athlete, UFC athletes, dude, it'll get you no matter what you come across, you'll get through it, whatever obstacles thrown your way.
Dude, that's incredible, bro. I feel like you absolutely crushed it. Like you're top 1% of like our entire community, dude. Like walk me through what your results are like right now.
So
How
right
much weight have you
now,
lost? Like, dude, tell me about like you taking off your shirt right now. Tell me about all that stuff.
So up until now, it's been about 5 months, and I lost about 30 pounds, give or take. But family started to notice, especially when it got out on social media. Like everyone started messaging me and just like saying, "Hey, this is awesome! Like, so happy for you." And when my parents found out about it, or when my sister helped share that Instagram post, it really opened their eyes and got them bought in. So now they're fully on board, meaning like I won't be overfed. So that's one thing. Now I have like if something's kind of veering off nutritionally, my mom will call me. I was like, hey, watch out, like and that's awesome. Just getting through that and being able to trailblaze that for myself. So coming out here to Virginia Beach, even like 5 months after having started working with the deck, I did not feel super insecure about taking off my shirt and just enjoying the beach. It's perfect out here and not really caring. I mean, I've a ways to go, but I am miles and miles ahead of where I was at this point last year, and I'm happy. But I know this is just a small part of the journey. For the rest of my life. So, but ultimately, I think the most important thing is like I'm happy right now.
Dog, you're gonna make me cry. That's amazing, dude. Fuck, I'm so
Yeah,
happy for you.
yeah.
And I guess like just another question about that, man. Like, is there anything that you're able to do now that you couldn't have done before?
So nutritionally, I wasn't able to distinguish like why I was eating like between junk food, like the trade-offs with the food I was eating. So I'll be like, okay, say chips or junk fast food is bad for me. Okay, cool. Why? I'm like eating like these simple carbs, right? Like, okay, I know they're bad for you, but why? Okay, so I'll be before I didn't have the knowledge of why I was avoiding foods. I was just told they were bad. But being able to make the decision of what I'm putting in my body for enjoyment, and that's okay. And that's where I think it's the biggest one is like, am I enjoying what I'm experiencing?
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to be strict on yourself, and it's another thing to be like, okay, I don't do this every day. I'm gonna enjoy this little treat to reward myself. So I say that's the biggest thing that I couldn't do before that I can do now, is be able to make informed decisions what I'm eating and enjoying, like not be too logical about it, but enjoying like in your body, like being able to enjoy. I'm out here in the boardwalk, I mean, the different food from the normal day, so enjoy that a little bit here and there, but having a supportive group of friends who just want to see you succeed. We're all supportive of each other, so also to have that kind of support also.
Dude, I love it, man. I guess like one last question around this, dude. What would you tell someone that's like watching this right now who is like unsure about taking the next step?
So I would ask, how much is your life worth? And you have to answer that honestly. So I know for me, I knew that I did everything, but just knowing like what will it take for you to wake up and realize that ultimately your health is probably one of the most important aspects of your life, whether it's family, relationships, they're all kind of dependent on your health. What value do you put on your health in your life? And in the beginning, I've never again did anything like this, but I knew that if I had a supportive network and also the knowledge of an expert, especially associated with the UFC, who I mean, their life is pretty much combat and being a bit like elite bit, that for me it would be a worthwhile investment. And right now it's in every aspect of my life. And for me, that's the biggest benefit of making that leap for myself. And it's a leap especially if you're not used to making investments in yourself. And that's one thing I learned from any high performing person that I know of, is that they invest a good amount of their time and energy in things they care about. And for me, what I've come to know is like my health, because if I don't have my health, I can't do any of this. And it's more or less knowing that I'm doing the best I can I'm arriving on this planet Earth. Like if I have the ability to stay healthy, have the energy for my future family, my relationships, I'll do that. And that's all to say, like being fueled in the right way, mind, body, spirit, body, especially with the food, number one, because I mean, you need that to in your life. So for me, it's answering the question, how much do you value your life and your health? And for me, I answered that and I knew that I was diving into battle with someone that I would trust because there's someone who looked like me, being Asian and working with elite combat athletes. So that was more than enough for me to make that jump.
Gotta love it, man. How has this impacted other aspects of your life? Because you mentioned that.
Yeah, so more clarity, more drive, ambition, because I have the energy to take a step back. And this just happened recently. Like my current project ended, and I luckily found a new project at my company. So what ultimately is like, how much do I value my time? And for me, having experienced what I've experienced, especially in the last 10 years, I put a lot of value in that. So that comes in like monetary, like a monetary figure, but being able to think clearly, ask the right questions of yourself and like your surroundings, and being able to make decisions faster because you have clarity of mind, and being able to, the way I'm talking right now, I would not have 10 years ago been able to talk like this with enough clarity and drive and confidence in what I'm saying. And it's not like it's like the destination. This is a constant thing that's being worked on, all different skills of life, but having that energy to keep working on skills that'll keep you at that 1%.
Dude, I guess like relationship side of things, you have the confidence now to like go on dates and stuff.
Yeah, it's
Crushing it.
the yeah, it's so right now I'm also working with a coach. So that's where it's like, okay, I've again done all the things you could do. I've years ago I joined a social boot camp. Like I worked with a company, got coached on how to approach groups of people, talk to women in Manhattan. We would go, this just happened over a weekend. So they would send us out, we would go out in groups and they would tell us, hey, go talk to those group of people over there. And they would like analyze like how to talk to a group of people. And Manhattan is like probably the best place for all that. Learned a lot because I did not know how to talk to women at the time. And this was like about 15 years ago. So I was really new. I was a straight edge boy, as you can imagine. So, but ultimately, the more you work on yourself and the more you can work on your mission, whatever it is you want to accomplish in life, like that's it. And for that, whatever relationships you attract, that's what you're going to attract.
Yeah, bro.
So for women, it used to be like that was the end goal, right? And for
Yeah.
me, that was also a pitfall, getting into shape. And then as I got into a relationship, as I was accepted, then I kind of fell off because my mission was like, okay, I was fit enough to be accepted by another woman, get into the relationship, and it kind of falls off. So I lost the drive there. So ultimately, it's working towards like a mission. And what's your goal in life? What are your goals in life? To keep working towards that,
Yeah.
and not compromising on that.
Dude, I love
It
it,
was,
man.
I mean, it was tough during COVID. I mean, there was a lot of uncertainty around there, so I had a unique situation. But other than that, I think a lot of it's in timing. Like keep doing what you're doing. Like I'm working on different aspects of my life, working with coaches, putting the investments where I need to get there as fast as possible because time is something you can't get back.
No, absolutely not. Yo, one last question, dude. Do we change your life?
More, yeah, you changed my life in exponentially more ways than you can imagine just to be able to speak to this. So yeah, I'm super grateful. But I know this is just small checkpoint, won't stop until I get to where I, not a destination, but it's like a checkpoint. The closer I get to my physique, my goal, the more capable I will feel. And psychologically, that will get me to push even more, have that energy, that magnetic, charismatic energy to pursue life to its fullest. So
Yo, man, thanks for hopping on this call, dude. Appreciate that, dude.
yeah.
It's an absolute pleasure working with you, man. You're just like one of the hardest working guys. Literally just need to give you the freaking blueprint and you just go rampant. You just go and crush goals, top 1%. Just like dude, your first month, I think you didn't even train. Like you had like
I had to
you
put
had
in
a
gym. I
foot
lost,
injury. And how much
yeah,
weight did you lose your first month?
like 10, 15 pounds. Just I think it's just water weight. Just changing my nutrition.
Just
Simple.
your nutrition, dude. Like you didn't
Yeah,
even train and you were just like losing weight. And I'm like, this guy's a savage. And once you
yeah,
started training, I was just like, Jesus Christ, man. Like the fat's like shedding off and it just like compounds and compounds. And like you
yeah.
lost 30 pounds in 5 months. But a big part of that right now is working through the body recomposition. It's just body recomposition, trying to like lose fat and gain muscle at the same time. So if you just do that, like literally the weight, the number doesn't really change too much potentially. But like your actual definition, the physique is changing time and time after again. Dude, every time I see like a progress photo of you week after week, I'm just like, is this real? Is
Yeah.
this real? And like every single week, we're like throwing up like the weekly highlights to the community, but you're on there like all the time. I'm just like, dude, this guy's
Yeah.
nonstop, just boom, 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 just like hitting it, man. Just has that structure, that routine. You're just crushing it every single time. Just like without a doubt, we like assign something for you to do,
Yeah.
you know, whatever it is, based off of like where you're currently at in terms of your phase, and done,
Yeah.
implemented. Implementation is king. Like you just take so much action, dude. So
Yeah.
like, bro, after you finish this program, like this is gonna be a thing that you're gonna have for the rest of your life. Like you're
Yeah.
still gonna freaking kick ass. You're still gonna be like all these skills that you accumulate. Like they don't just go away. You don't just like, oh, forget about like what the hell do you like? Is this like something that you should actually eat to like improve your body composition? You don't just forget that. It's like stuff that you're gonna pass down for like generations, generations. And when you have kids, like your kids gonna look to your dad and be like, like, dude, like Albert, bro, like those abs, those are abs, man. And from there,
Yeah.
it's just like compounds. They're gonna want to have abs. And the reason why I say that is because, dude, that was like my dad. I feel
Yeah.
really, really proud of him because like he showed me what it normal is like. What
Yeah.
normal is like for me is like, dude, my dad could do backflips. My dad could do like, he could run for a long period of time. So I was like, shit, I
Yeah.
always want to be like my dad,
Yeah.
right? So, dude,
Yeah.
that's it, man. You're gonna be that fucking dad. Let's go,
Yeah.
baby. Dude, I love it,
Yeah, my
man.
dad's the same way. Like he has an inhuman metabolism, so no matter what he eats, he always wants to be active, be outside. So I do attribute a lot of I know it's in my gene. Like he constantly wants to be out. Like every time he gets a chance to walk my dog, he'll walk for like hours just to be out there. And yeah, like I get that from him, and it's just something that had to be unlocked. So.
Dude, let's go, baby. All right, man.